and then I'm going to have to get on somebody's ass. Not good anymore. We're just going to blow them out. It's just the opposite. It's just the opposite of that. They're competitors. They have moms and dads. They have pride in performance. They have things that they want to accomplish and they want to do, and they want to be good. They don't just throw in the towel. They work hard to try to get
how
better.
Tired you are,
everybody
how hot it is.
Us.
You got to push yourselves on the field like when you're playing football. To finish plays, to run the ball. You know how we play. It's 0-0.
Job of getting his.
And we are for sure ready for this game. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christian Ballard with Ballard Sports Media. A little hype video I put out this week. Put some of it in there to get y'all ready. This is the one and only. Well, not the one and only. Everyone's previewing this game. But from me, my one and only official SEC championship preview video between Georgia and Alabama. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I'm premiering this for you guys. Y'all comment along the way. Comment your score predictions. What's going to happen? How does Alabama beat Georgia? I never thought that I would be looking at Alabama and Georgia, or I'd be looking at an Alabama game under Nick Saban and saying, you know, I don't know if Alabama can do this. But the time has finally come. Kirby, this is a year or so in the making. He's been there since 2015. But with the players that they have right now, they've had for maybe a couple years, but they're pretty darn good. I'll say that. Right? You have the SEC title. The CFP rankings have come out. It's not quite a game of the century. Pretty close. But it is a top 4 matchup. That being said, okay, I don't know where to begin with this. This is going to be a great game. It's going to be closer than maybe some people think. I think there's going to be a lot of defense. Right? We're looking at the best defense in the nation in Georgia going up against, I almost called Alabama's offense the best in the nation, but it's not. It's really not. There's quite a few out there that are better, right? First off, I'll say this. The offensive line is pitiful. It's pitiful. We'll get to that in a second. The quarterback matchup, the best available on both of these teams. Bryce Young in Alabama actually had a great game against Auburn. It might not look like it score-wise, but honestly, I thought he played pretty good. I thought he played great. Played great against teams like Arkansas. I think he's gotten better every single week. Has he been amazing and elite since day one? Well, he was pretty darn good in high school. When he started out this year, they might have put 44 points up on Miami, but I really feel like it's more so a factor of the receivers in some cases. But Bryce Young has shown poise. I think that, you know, it's incredible. But I will say that I don't know if Bryce Young has met his match. And I think he will this Saturday. I also would say that Georgia's defense hasn't met their match yet. I don't think that they have faced an offense like what they'll face against Alabama this Saturday. But again, like I say, has Alabama faced a defense like Georgia yet? No. Georgia's defense is the best. And, you know, as hard as that is for me to admit, I got to give props. Kirby Smart has finally built a team good enough to win a national title. Now, I know they made it in 2017. You had Jake Fromm as your quarterback. He was amazing when he was at Georgia. Amazing, right? But, have they been a national team every single year since then? No. And I say that they might be recognized. They might be recruiting very well, but let's be honest. Last year, it wasn't going to win you a title. 2019, Fromm was on decline. You didn't have a quarterback outside of him, or you did until you let him go to Columbus. You gave Justin Fields a chance. I don't know what happened, but I don't know why you guys stuck with Jake Fromm. We're not here to talk about that. That's gone. That's in the past. I really do think that Georgia is that team that they're going to win every game. They're not losing until they actually lose, if you get what I'm saying. Let's just go ahead and dive into it. The line is 6.5 Georgia. That's pretty low. They're giving Alabama some credit. It would be the upset of the year if Alabama gets this win. Not because they're Alabama. Oh, it's not the upset of the year. It's Alabama. Georgia's that good. They're 8-0 in conference play. They're 12-0 right now. 66.5% chance to win the game this Saturday. Let me full screen this for you guys right here. 6.5 spread. We look at the quarterback matchup with Bryce Young and Stetson Bennett. Now, let me ask the Georgia fans this. You dogs out there, right? Since y'all believe in Stetson Bennett, right? He's your guy. What's up with JT? I know he had some injury. I don't even know what it was. I don't know if it's real. I don't know. But if you guys need to do something for your offense, let's say Alabama's having an amazing defensive game too, right? Let's say this is defensive game quite a bit, right? Is it going to be like, is there going to be a point where you say, okay, Stetson's not working? Is JT going to come off the bench? Serious. I'm not trying to troll. I'm serious. And would you trust JT Daniels? Or are you saying, no, we're going to stick with Stetson Bennett? Stetson Bennett, 119 of 183, over 1,000 yards. He's only got 5 picks. He's got 21 touchdowns. Bryce Young, holy cow, up and out of nowhere. Didn't start out all that great, but these past few weeks have been pretty good. Over 3,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 picks. Brian Robinson for Alabama running the ball, 14 rushing touchdowns, over 1,000 yards off 207 carries. Zamir White for Georgia, 10 rushing touchdowns, 691 yards, 128 carries, and so on and so forth. 40 points a game for Georgia. 42.3, make it 42 points a game for Alabama. So on paper, in terms of scoring, these offenses are pretty similar, right? But what scares me, this is crazy. Now, for Bama's defense to give up 19.9, count it 20 points a game, that's pretty good. That's some improvement on defense, from years past. But 6.9, you're basically, Georgia, you're only giving up a touchdown. Y'all are so great on defense. You shut down Georgia Tech, Charleston Southern. You beat out Missouri and Florida and Tennessee. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, no, I'm going to go off. We just had to deal with Auburn. We've had to deal with Arkansas. We played Miami to open the season. Y'all played Clemson, which Dabo's fixing to be on the hot seat if he doesn't get it together over there. This is insane. The SEC East outside of Georgia is so down right now. Compared to the West, at least. Like, Alabama has clearly played better competition. And I don't want to hear this, oh, it's so even. No, it's not. Anyway, how did these teams win the game? Well, Georgia is probably going to be leading this game at halftime. If that's the case, if you want to win this game, get rid of the backup quarterback. Obviously, that's a joke. I mean, if you look at the previous, not last year's matchup, but like the national title game, and then, of course, Jalen Hurts had to come off the bench for Tua. Amazing, by the way. Right? That's just a joke. You don't have to actually get rid of the backup quarterback. I doubt we're going to be in that situation. I think we'll stick with Bryce Young the whole game. Georgia just needs to be who they are. Here's where the trash talk kind of dies down a bit. I'm just going to be real. They got to be who they are. Show the Alabama O-line weakness. Get through it. Jordan Davis is a monster. This guy's huge. He's really, really good. They got some other guys outside of him, though. Channing Tindall, Nakobe Dean, Lewis Seen, Nolan Smith. They have a lot of different guys. Devontae Wyatt, Adam Anderson, Jalen Carter. I mean, what's so great about Georgia is their depth on defense. They're not playing all these guys at one time, but they can rotate a guy or two, give them a break, and they're still dominant because of talent and recruiting. I'm just going to give him props. That's a factor of Kirby Smart. He's got that mindset. Defensive coach, great. I know it. I know I've been hard. I know I've been tough. I know maybe I sound a little crazy sometimes, and maybe I'm not giving Georgia the credit they deserve, but I'm just going to be real right now. I wanted to come on here and talk smack the whole way through. But, man, Georgia's just that team this year. They're going to win one title with Kirby Smart. I'll tell you what, if Georgia doesn't win the national championship this year with the talent that they have, they will never win one with Kirby Smart or probably anybody else. And then you could go ahead and just say that Athens is cursed for good in terms of being on top of college football the whole way through. I mean, there's no reason this Georgia team doesn't win the national title. They're that good. You're good, man. I'm telling you. I'm not here to troll. I'm not here to kiss rear ends. I'm not here to do that. I mean it. They're great. But this Saturday,
All that says you about to roll with the time.
you got to get through Alabama. Is it going to be No, it's not going to be easy. Alabama, especially on offense, has improved greatly this year. Each week after week, it seems like it. I know we only put up 24 on Auburn, but they got a pretty good defense. It's pretty solid. And it's the Iron Bowl, and, stuff like that just happens. It's weird. I really think that you're going to get the best version of both of these teams this Saturday. Again, I mentioned 40 points a game for Georgia, 42 for Alabama. Georgia's only given up about 7 points a game, a touchdown. Alabama, you can round it to 20. So, I mean, Alabama's defense isn't too far behind, but it's also like Georgia just has a lot of talent. I mean, there's really not much I can say. But how do these teams win? Again, get back to it. Georgia wins. As a joke, I put they get rid of the backup quarterback. I really don't think that Bryce is going to be benched. I don't think we're going to need that. I think we're going to just keep the guys out there and just see if they could just find a way to get it together. They need to just be who they are, show the Alabama offensive line weakness, and get through it. You know, show some coverages, throw off Bill O'Brien and his play calling and his decision making as an offensive coordinator. Just throw him off, which shouldn't be too hard. And Doug Marrone, who coaches our offensive line, which I think both of those guys need to be fired after this year, right? Stetson Bennett, he's the quarterback. He needs to be good in his decision making. He hasn't really faced a secondary like what Alabama has this season. You're talking about guys in the backfield like Kool-Aid McKinstry if he's playing. You got Jordan Battle, DeMarco Helms. There's a few key guys. Jordan Battle has 36 tackles on the year on his own, 32 assists for a total of 68. Has no sacks, but again, he's a corner or a safety. He's got 2 picks. He's got a touchdown of 69 yards on a return. You got a key guy, Jalen Armour Davis, on the year has 3 picks for 51 yards, and I could go on. Watch the offensive or the defensive line. The depth is great. Where are guys like DJ Dale and LeBron Ray? I don't know. But watch Justin Eboigbe, Malachi Moore, a linebacker we could put there, Drew Sanders, Dallas Turner. This is what's so great is that, and Georgia's this way too. Like, it's not very you have some guys that are always going to be there. Like, we got to play this guy if he's healthy. But you also have hey, let's let this guy rest real quick. Yeah, no, it's okay. This guy's talented too. Let's put him out there and see. There's a lot of mix and match type of players that Alabama could put on defense and work with, honestly, I think. And I think Georgia can do that too. So, obviously, I'll say this. For both of these teams, they both got to play 4-quarter defense. Georgia, capable of it. Alabama, I need to see that happen. I think they could too. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a defensive game. I really do. I know it might sound crazy, but I really there's offense for Alabama. There's also offense for Georgia. But I think that, and you look back at the past couple meetings, right? Last year, let's exclude that. But I'll say that even still, like, it was 24-20, or what? Yeah, like 24-20 at halftime of last year's game. And Alabama was down by 4. They shut Georgia out in the second half and scored 3 touchdowns to win 41-20. The second and 26 game was 26-23. The SEC title with Jalen Hurts was, 35-28, right? So the losing team, when you look at it, in Georgia and Alabama, let's look at this. It's been defense, right? The losing team has not gotten in the 30s and has not gotten more than, I guess, 28 points. Let's look at these here together, please. Let's look at Kirby Smart. Hired in 2016, right? So after 2015, that was Mark Richt. January 8th, 2018, 2nd and 26, it was 26-23. The losing team had 23 points. Georgia had 28, which was the highest that they've scored on Alabama when they've lost, at least since Kirby Smart's been there. And then 24 last year, right? So the losing team in this has not gotten more than maybe 4 touchdowns. If that's the case, and I think both of these defenses are clearly better this year than really any of those other years, I really think it's going to be low scoring. I think this will be some old school football. This will be like one of those LSU Bama type of games, or maybe what we saw early in the year with Clemson and Georgia. It might not be that low. I expect a little bit more. Kind of. But this is going to be a defensive battle on both sides. I really believe that. And I know it might surprise you. But, man, this will be great. So I'll say this. Right? Again, how do these teams win? Let's run through this. Georgia, just be who they are. Show the Bama O-line weakness because they got it. Get through and pressure Bryce Young. I think Stetson Bennett needs good decision-making against Alabama in the secondary. He's got to read it. He's got to find big playmakers out there. And there are rumors that George Pickens plays. I doubt he plays the whole game. But even if he's not in there, it's okay. You got other guys out there. Jermaine Burton, Adonai Mitchell, Kyrus Jackson, Darnell Washington, Brock Bowers is a key tight end who's the lead receiver, 37 receptions, 652 yards, 10 touchdowns on the year. Amazing, right? The running backs, Zamir White, 128 rushing attempts for 691 yards, 10 touchdowns. His longest rushing play is 42 yards. You also got some guys in there: Kendall Milton, James Cook, Kenny McIntosh. It's like Alabama. There's not a set. Obviously there's a lead running back or receiver, but because of recruiting, and this is what's so great, Georgia's recruiting is amazing. Because of recruiting, if one guy goes out, and I kind of joked about it when George Pickens was hurt in the offseason and they said he'd be out all year. Oh, you just lost your best receiver. Your season's over. No. Georgia and Alabama are two of the few teams, very few teams can say this. Because of how they recruit, it is next man up mentality. Not as in, well, we just got to give the next guy up, the best chance. Oh, we just got to give the second and third string guys a chance. No. Not only do you just give them a chance, they're good. They're really, really good. They're talented. They're 4 or 5 stars, in their position. They're top 20 guys, top 20 receivers, top 20 running backs or linemen or whatever. They're deep in talent, both of these. I credit Kirby and obviously credit Nick Saban for what he's done. It's next man up mentality. So for Georgia to lose their best receiver in the offseason, which, believe me, I'm sure Georgia fans are kind of pissed about that. That's okay. I wouldn't blame them. No big deal, right? But don't beat yourself up. I joked that their season was done with, and that because they lost their best, and the only reason why is because, first off, yeah, he's the most talented one they got is George Pickens, right? But that's really all I heard about all offseason was George Pickens this, George Pickens that. Then he got hurt, and I'm like, what are you going to do now? Jermaine Burton, Adonai Mitchell, Darnell Washington, the tight end, Brock Bowers, the tight end, Arian Smith. I mean, there's a lot of guys, a lot of weapons for Stetson to throw to on Saturday to make big plays, right? To go out there and have an offensive game. Alabama too, right? I mentioned again, Georgia just needs to be who they've been all year if they want to win this game. They got to play four-quarter defense, and I think they will. Stetson Bennett needs good decision-making against the Alabama secondary. Got to read guys, mismatches, right? You need that. I think he will do that, but I also think there's going to be some key guys. Will Anderson on the edge for Alabama has been Mr. Heisman talk, Mr. whatever you give the top pass rusher. What's that award? Someone remind me. Mr. Everything, right? He's going to pressure and sack Stetson Bennett. Georgia doesn't have the line to defend that. Not that their line's bad. They don't have that. He's going to get in his face and tackle him and sack him and everything like that under the sun, and he's going to pressure him. This is a defensive battle from start to finish, folks. I'm not going to be on here too much longer, but I'll say this. As a fan, I want Alabama to win this game. I want it so badly. I think their defense will play 4 quarters. So will Georgia. Right? This is crazy. And when you see my score, I want you to hear me out. This is not discrediting the offenses, but this is more so giving a crap ton of credit to the defense on both of these teams, especially on Georgia. And if truly what we're seeing since 2015 and everything, if this is really the year of Georgia, if these two teams go out there and they say these are our best defenses that we've had since we've been meeting since 2016 or whenever, if that's really the case, this is the best Georgia defense Alabama's had to go up against, and this is the best Alabama defense Georgia's had to go up against, right? In my opinion, I see it like that. But let's say if that's the case and that's true, then fine. It's going to be low scoring. It's not going to be 26-23, 35-28, 41-24 like the past 3 have gone. I'm just going to go ahead and throw my score prediction out. I think it's going to be this low, 14-10. I see an old school football game, hard-hitting nose tackle, get in your face, sack the quarterback, pressure, rush, blitz, sack, interception. There's a lot of big explosive playmakers, and there's going to be some big plays maybe from both teams. Don't get it twisted, but get in the red zone. Have some fast, speedy defensive backs chase you down. This isn't quite the 9-6 game, Bama LSU. It's not quite that defense, but man, there's some defense. I'm just making a bold claim. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere in the 20s, and maybe it's a lot more high scoring than 24 combined points, right? But this is just my opinion. In my opinion, I see a lot of defense in this game, and it's going to be a long night if you're watching this SEC championship with Georgia and Alabama. But again, you guys, as I'm premiering this for you, let me know. Comment your score predictions. Happy holidays to everybody, too. Merry Christmas. As I'm recording this, we are now in the month of December. It's great to be in that. And closing out 2021 very soon. This has been it's been a crazy year. Moving to Alabama and everything that's gone on, but more on that later. right now. We focus on this game. The spread is 6.5 Georgia. I see a 4-point victory for them. Defensive battle 14-10. I don't think they cover 6.5. This might surprise some people. I really, first off, I'd like to see this, but I really do believe this is going to be a more defensive game than people think. And I mean, I know nobody's saying, 41 to 35 or what, like nobody's expecting a big shootout, but I've seen a lot of like 23-20 type of scores and like a 26-21 or a 26-23 again or something like that. And I don't know, but I'll say this. These teams are two of the best in college football. Georgia especially. I think it's Georgia's year all the way, and it's not even close. They're just having their LSU spectacular type of season. The only thing is, instead of the offense, that Georgia defense is what's leading them. And it's the best Georgia defense I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's the best Kirby has had. Hell, it might even be the best in college football history. And I think Saturday will be a factor of that. I want Alabama to win this game, but I got to give credit and props, where it's due. Georgia's just that team, and I think Kirby will finally beat Nick Saban. I'm sorry. I hope not, but if I'm just being honest, I rarely ever predict a Bama game and pick us to lose. But this is just one of those ones. But Georgia, you get prepared because I know that Alabama has a chance. I know that they can do it. I have a feeling that maybe it won't happen, but anything could happen in Atlanta. We know that for sure, right? We just got to put a couple key guys in, change the outcome of the game, but we'll see what happens. But I'm going to stick to Georgia on this one. And again, I mentioned low scoring, 14-10. Happy holidays. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Valor Sports Media for more amazing sports content. Keep your head up. I love you guys. Happy holidays. God bless. And as always, folks.
Okay.
Roll down Tide.
There we go. It's working. Love you guys. Roll Tide, roll. Ballard Sports Media is checking out.